Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Big Bold You, a podcast that I'm telling you I developed with a lot of help with friends like the person that's sitting next to me. And she's one of my most favorite people in the world, and you're going to get to meet her. And I promise you that she will become one of your most favorite people as well. But the podcast was created to help you, myself, and everybody out there to play bigger in your life because you're supposed to and you can. We want to help you step out of your comfort zones and be bolder so you can become the best version of you and bless the world with your gifts, your talents, your greatness, and follow your purpose and your passion, which really, if one of the things I say all the time is, I believe we live in a world where there is a war between good and evil. And the only way evil wins is when good people like us, when we just don't do enough because we're scared, we don't believe we can, or we don't know how. So each and every Monday, we have an incredible guest that comes on the show and really shares their passion and shares their purpose and their journey. And look, like everything else in life, it all starts with passion. And that is the main topic of our show today with our incredible guest, Miss Carrie Bernstein. Carrie, we are so excited to have you on the show. You really are one of my most favorite people in the world.
Ditto, baby.
I mean, it's one of those things where when you find good people, you just and it's a magnet. We attracted and we're like, okay, we're never going anywhere. We're staying right next to each other. And what I have just been so blessed to watch you create and bring to life is something that's called Passion Dallas. And I really want us to jump into that. I want us to talk about what it means to be socially conscious and aware. But before we get started, I just want everybody to learn a little bit about you. So share anything you want to share with us, and then let's just jump right into this thing called Passion Dallas.
This thing. Well, first of all, thank you so much. You are not just one of my favorite people. I want to tell everybody that I don't think Passion Dallas would have become Passion Dallas if it weren't for Jens Johnson. It's way more than a relationship of love. There is a commonality in our value system and in the life that we want to live, and we get up every day and we
Right.
try really hard to live
Exactly.
it because it's not easy
No.
to do what you want to do in this world and what you're supposed to do in this world. But Passion Dallas, it happened by accident. It was not an intentionful built company, and now there's nothing but intention behind it. I have been in real estate for 20 years. I've enjoyed every minute of it. And through my real estate career, decided that video would be a very nice avenue for marketing. What I found very quickly is that the ego-driven style of real estate that we're all taught to live, and that's what we know, did not sit well with me any longer. I was growing tired of it and didn't feel real. And so I started interviewing my clients because I'm a relational person and that's what I know and love. And John, who is my partner in crime and the work behind everything that we do, and he's all the creative, he's our video guy and much more. We did a video with one of my clients, and we looked at each other afterwards, and we just interviewed her on what she does and who she is and what it means to her. And we looked at each other afterwards, and we both said, I don't know what we just did, but that was the most amazing thing ever. And it's just evolved from there. Passion Dallas has now become what others would consider a membership organization. We like to call our people passion leaders because these are all leaders in their field. They're entrepreneurs, they're creators, they're artists. They're leading their lives, but they're also leaving impact, and that's what they're most concerned about doing. And so now we've created a membership community that we're growing, and there's all kinds of multimedia platforms behind it to help propel everybody's movement. So it's a really cool deal.
Well, you
Yeah.
said a couple things. One is the ego-driven atmosphere in real estate. But don't you think it's ego driven just in so many other different industries as well? Is so many times people think, oh gosh, the way I get ahead is making it appear like I'm so much better than everyone else. And then I'm going to attract people that want to be with the best. And I think what I love about who you are and who Passion Dallas really is attracting are the passion leaders. So I remember that very first interview that you did, and really what you did was, because who you associate with and who you work with and do life with are passion leaders. You interviewed a passion leader. You didn't know that that was what that person was called because you were just attracted to them, but you had interviewed a passion leader, and what you realized was, oh my gosh, if I shine a light on other people that are making this world a better place, I can not only help them become more successful, I can help the world become a better place. And I think that's really how it started.
Yeah.
And so one of the things you realize, because I'm a part of Passion Dallas, is there's not a lot of places, there's not a lot of organizations, groups, communities where that really is the focus.
Right.
And we talk all the time that if you are a passion leader, listen, you know it. You know you're a passion leader. You might not know that's what you're called or what we're calling you, but you've got this burning desire within you to do good for the world. Yeah. And to the point sometimes that supersedes some of the other things that you're doing, because beyond a shadow of doubt that you were sent here to make a positive impact on the world. So here we are pouring into everybody else, but we've got to be poured into as well. So, to get involved as a member of Passion Dallas, what are some of the benefits that somebody can expect to receive as a member?
Sure. I think, something that you said that's stands out to me is I think that the methods of ego-driven marketing are kind of old school methods that, not to age us out,
no,
but our generation was raised on.
Exactly.
It isn't necessarily that we believe that. It's that we were taught that is the way that we communicate who we are and what we can offer the world. We don't really live in that society anymore.
No.
And that's something that I think this younger generation is teaching us. I have always craved depth. And I thought I was alone in that, and that was not, it didn't belong in business. So I hid it, and I didn't mask it completely, because you can't mask who you are completely, but I didn't bring it to the surface. Now I would say through Passion Dallas that I have realized that I'm far from alone. People that are passion leaders, we have to have depth. And so I think the number one thing that we gain through being a member of, or becoming a member of our amazing organization is each other and depth of relationships. There's a big push for people to go to networking groups and to meet people and to pass leads around and things of that nature. That isn't what we crave. We need people to do life with. We need people that are on our playing field, that we feel energized from when we leave a room. And there has yet to be an event, because we don't call them meetings, we have events. And there is yet to be an event that any of us leave, that there isn't so much energy that comes from it. And that is because of when you put the right people in the right room, what happens naturally. So I think that's the biggest,
Well, I think for myself personally, and I've told you this, to me, it's what you were talking about with intention. So many times things happen that you didn't intend to happen. But when you realized this is the road and the path I'm supposed to go on, there's a responsibility. And when you are a deep person and you're driven by purpose and by passion, you know that if you don't go down that road, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, because you realize that you're being called down that road because you're supposed to serve. And then when you go down that road and you and a lot of times you're alone. So when you find other people that are going down their own passion paths, and you realize that, listen, it's not about passing out business cards, because I'm gonna speak for the people that I've met in Passion Dallas. Most of the members, they are successful. So it's not, hey, I need another customer, I need a client. It's, I need another passion partner
Yeah.
in my life. I need somebody that is going to go deep with me, that I can share my vision, and that you're going to say, keep going, keep going. And oh, by the way, you're at a roadblock right here.
Yeah.
And I know some incredible people that I have vetted that are living life the same way we're living life, and let me share that resource. And whatever happens afterwards is what happens, but it's the intent is different. It's not the intent, I'm going in there to network. It's just, that's not the intent. And so I think the intention is very different. And I just say it fuels what we're all doing. And listen, everybody's at a different place in their journey, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think that for people that are out there that are ready, are maybe, first, as we talked earlier, what does passion even mean to you? Like, if someone's watching us right now and they're saying, well, gosh, I don't know if I'm on my passion journey. I mean, what has it transpired in your life to be?
I think when we say a passion leader, we are describing somebody who is not only motivated by money, or maybe that isn't their motivation at all. They are motivated to succeed, but their main goal is to leave impact and to really uplift the lives of other people. It's a serving mentality, and through that, but it's not a cliche serving mentality. It's, I've got a hole in me if I don't do things this way. And that is how I felt before I realized this amazing journey that we're on. I loved my career, but I always had a hole. And it was because I wasn't able to pour into other people the way that I really need to do in order to feel good and feel like I'm successful. So a passion leader is somebody that drives their life with vigor to leave impact. And, they're the ones that try the hardest. They're the ones that put out everything they've got on a daily basis, really to grow personally also. And I think we leave that out. I just came from an awesome meeting, and we had all these cards, these value cards.
Right.
That's what I was looking up on my phone before. And you had to put your values in order of importance. And believe it or not, my first one was self-growth.
Oh, it's very important.
It wasn't what most people picked. But I know it's not a selfish thing. I know that in order to serve and in order to be the best person I can be, I have to always be working on myself. And passion leaders understand that. We are always trying to be better.
Right.
And just leave our mark and hopefully help other people in their journeys.
That's one of the things I will always say, everything rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah.
Everything. You've got to always hitch your wagon to leaders. And I always call them real leaders.
Yeah.
To me, there's a difference between a real leader and a fake leader. A fake leader is somebody that wants you to believe they're a real leader, but they're not. But as I've gotten involved in Passion Dallas, it's if you're a real leader, you are passionate. If you're a real leader, you are living in passion. And, you talk about the void in life. I think sometimes people are walking around with a void.
Yeah.
And they're not happy. Maybe they went down the wrong path. Listen, I think we've all gone down the wrong path plenty of times, and sometimes you don't even realize.
Who's counting?
Yeah, right. Sometimes you're like driving on the highway and
Yeah.
you accidentally got off. You were listening to the radio. You didn't even realize you got off on the wrong exit, and it takes you a minute before you realize, oh my gosh, I'm on the wrong path. I'm with the wrong people. I'm doing the wrong things, and so many times how your body and your mind and whatever higher power you believe in, how they tell you that is you feel a void.
Yeah.
You feel a void, you feel empty, you don't feel as good, you don't feel as good about yourself as you have in the past. You start thinking negative thoughts about yourself, and oh my gosh. And really, what has happened is you've disconnected yourself from your passion.
Yeah.
And when you start to realize, hold on a second, my passion that brought me so much happiness and purpose and life and energy, I stopped doing, either because I just stopped doing it, maybe because I was punishing myself. I know people that have done that. They have made some mistakes in their lives, or they just made some decisions that they weren't so happy about, and they punish themselves. And they say, let me take away from me what I love doing. And then I think sometimes people you start to associate with the wrong people, and before you know it, what makes you smile and makes your heart sing, you've left that.
Yeah.
But to your point, on that journey, where is that community of other leaders or other passion leaders that are living their lives that way? I'm a part of the World Changer Network. And I told you, I said, Passion Dallas and the World Changer Network, life-changing, life-changing, because it puts you right in that place where you belong.
Yeah.
And if there's not a group or a community where you belong, I think it makes it a lot easier to get off on the wrong road.
Sure.
So as a passion leader, you get to be a member of Passion Dallas. There's incredible events and masterminds and really philanthropy,
Yes.
you really giving back. I mean, we had an incredible event. So, what are just when you
Detail it.
yes.
You want details, huh?
I like the details. I don't know. Do y'all like the details?
Yeah.
I like the details.
Well, I'd love to give the details. I mean, look, our whole purpose is to elevate the leaders. That is our goal, John and I's goal, in having this amazing group that we are so fortunate that we get to have. So what we as a group do is we give back because that's what we want to do and that's what we know how to do. So many of our events are at some sort of organization that is philanthropic. We did have a meeting that Jens was just talking about at the Birthday Party Project, and we got to hear amazing information about branding and marketing and got to be in this room, but we also got to have a project where we made gift bags for people that are unfortunately homeless and would otherwise not have birthday parties. And this amazing organization was introduced to everybody in the room, which gave them another form of purpose while they were there. So we do try to integrate kind of all what the pieces that are important to us: the give back, charitable organization stuff, of course the networking, which is a natural form of networking and really just deepening relationships. And then we also have this, and this is amazing, a multimedia platform. So our goal is to help our members tell their stories authentically, real, in a very real sense. So we have interviews and we do all kinds of chef's tables and unique events, if you will, that help showcase the personalities of our members in a more natural setting than just, hey, aren't I cute? Did you see me? You know, it's a lot more conversational.
Right.
Jen's got to come to our chef's table at Sue's. We're still running all the footage on that. Just beautiful conversations. And everybody that walked down, and we only had room for 6 people and the table was full, but everybody that walked out of that room afterwards was like friends and
Right.
was doing business together. But that wasn't what we talked about. So we've got a very unique platform and a unique way of bringing people together. But then we like to showcase you in social media and give you video opportunities, et cetera, and ways to share your story.
Now we've got some video. So,
We do.
one of the things that I love about you is, you and I both love Gary Vee. I mean, we're crazy about Gary Vee. And one of the things he says is, as you move into the world that we live in right now, everybody needs their own media company. I mean, it is what it is. And that's one of the other things I love about Passion Dallas is, you've got a camera on you all the time.
All the time.
When you go to these events,
Yeah.
because you're capturing video for people. You're capturing the video for your members. And whether you realize it or not, you need that. And that's what I think is so funny is, there are some people, we were talking about it last night, it's like, remember when websites came out? I can vividly remember when websites came out. I mean, 25, 30 plus years ago. But I can remember I resisted a website. I mean, I really did. I was in graduate school, and I'd say this right before we watched all this video. And here we are on a podcast that you're watching us on the World Wide Web. But I remember in graduate school saying to myself, this World Wide Web thing isn't going to last. It's going to be like 8-track tapes. I mean, I honestly did not believe it. I thought it was going to be a phase. So I resisted it in the beginning, but I'm not resisting this, because everything that is associated, from the smartphones to the video platforms to the personal branding to the business branding to what's happening right now, you can resist it, but it's not going away.
Right.
So let's watch some of the video that you've done and explain what's going on.
And I think our goal too is like to edify the people that are doing. So it's not just about, commercials, which we can do that too. But it's more about showcasing who that person is. So we have a few clips that we brought of some of our passion leaders, and just little clips from their interviews, which are the last 4 little things that I attach, Ziggy, if you see them up there. But
he'll get it. He's amazing. He's amazing. So we throw all of these show elements and videos and everything to Ziggy, and we just say, Ziggy, read our mind and do what, and he does.
Yeah.
I work for people that inspire me, and I'd like to think that the people that work here with me, that I inspire them on some level. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think that's what really kind of helps you maintain a certain level of devotion and passion for this business, is when you're inspired by it.
Ziggy. All right, we're going to listen to another one at least.
Mm-hmm. I'm queuing that up right now.
Okay, and let me tell you, I love
Gilbert.
him. I love Gilbert.
That's Gilbert Garza. He is the owner and chef of Sue's Restaurant. He's an amazing person. But
And
what's
it's amazing food.
He's amazing food, but what is the most amazing is he's been in business for over 20 years. And I mean, in a restaurant industry,
That's
that
a
doesn't
big deal.
happen.
No, that's a big deal.
But when you walk in there, you feel like, you're home, and he makes sure of that. So he's a real passion leader.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
What do you think is the thing you're most passionate about in the photography world?
Okay, well, what I love about what I do is, everyone hates having their picture taken. I call it picture avoidance syndrome. People have picture avoidance syndrome.
Similar to the camera.
And, so usually when people come to me, there's a lot of anxiety and hesitation, and they don't feel good about themselves. And it's my job as a photographer to make people look amazing and confident, and give them an image that can help them sell themselves and market themselves successfully. And what I love about what I do is watching the whole transformative process, from the beginning when people come to me and they're unsure, to the end when they go, wow, is that me? I look amazing.
I love Romy.
Well, she was our first candidate. And again, she was my client and became my friend. She's an amazing person. She had just moved here from Chicago, had this enormously successful business, and you would know why.
Right.
Because not only is she extraordinarily talented, she's just a warm and just wonderful person. And you wouldn't not want to work with her. And I called her up and said, hey, you want to do this? And she's like, of course I do. So that's what started this whole thing. And so thanks to Romy.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
We've got at least one more that we're
We
going to
do.
watch.
We do.
You know, I've become very passionate about educating people about the food that we have available to eat in this country. It doesn't really, a lot of it doesn't resemble real food anymore. And, you know, people have such a hard time and they feel like it's their fault that, you know, they're eating too much, but it's really not. I mean, a lot of the food that we have out there, it's man-made food, it's addictive. The portion sizes that are served to us in this country are absolutely enormous. And we're having this public health crisis with obesity and every disease that results from obesity, you know, heart disease, diabetes, fatty liver disease. I mean, there's so many. And it's like, I've just become very passionate about the type of food, the quality of food, and the type of food that we're feeding our children in schools, at parties, at after-school events. I mean, I can't, you know, having a child with this condition, it's so difficult, even just to send my son, you know, anywhere, because people constantly feel like they have to give the kid sugar.
Okay, so I'm going to say what a difference between the first interview
That's what I was thinking too.
video and this one we just watched, and that is once you realized, wow, this is something of value because we can really promote these passion leaders in a larger, more substantial way. And that's really one of the benefits of being in Passion Dallas as a member, because you've got the video crew, you've got the creative, you've got the you've got the passion. Because listen, you know, nothing in life that is going to change your life and going to make a positive impact in the world is easy. It's scary, and you have to take risks. And that's when I see that it was a risk, like you said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do it because this is what I feel I'm supposed to do. So I think we have another interview as well.
Yeah, this should be our last one. I think what's unique about it too is that you get to see the differential in the people. Like their motives and their motivation and their stories are super different, and their passions are super
Right.
different. But when they get into the room together, they have all this commonality, and it's because they share, you know, common traits otherwise. So that I think has been the most fascinating. And we haven't done two that are alike.
You know, and here's something before we get to that next interview that I just thought of. You know, one of the things I do is I facilitate a mastermind. And I can't tell you how many times I wish I had a video of the person when they very first started, and then another video a year later, and another video a year later, which just popped in my head. I need to do that. And I need to do it through Passion Dallas, because what you're doing with your members a year from now, 2 years from now, as people stay, because that's what passion leaders do. I make lifetime commitments. I make lifetime commitments to platforms. I make lifetime commitments to people. And, you know, sometimes people are, you know that saying, they're in your life for a reason and for a season. And then sometimes you've got lifetime people. And you're going to have, I believe, a higher number of lifetime members just because of the you know, nature of the organization. So let's look at this next video.
I know for many years, you know, when I was going through tough times, it was always the story in my head. What were people going to think? What would they think if I failed, if I didn't succeed? How would people view me? And I battle with it still today, right? I mean, I make decisions based off the story in my head. Now I just try to be aware of the fact that it is only the story in my head. No one else is thinking about me or worried about my failures or going to sit around and laugh or ridicule. Like, they're not thinking about me, they're thinking about them, and that's what they should be thinking about. And all I have to do is change the story in my head, right? Change the story, change the outcome. And so now I tell myself a different story when I have the self-doubt and the self-talk and the negative talk and that fear that I have to, you know, that I have to overcome.
Okay, so first of all, I love him. I think he's amazing. But what I just am so happy that he shared is he's an extremely successful person, and he's sharing with everybody the negative thoughts that he has in his head, the self-limiting beliefs, the stories that he's saying to himself over and over again. And what I love about that, Carrie, is what we know is that's what happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Every person is doing that. So there's no difference between the successful people that are succeeding and the non-successful people that aren't succeeding. The successful people just do it anyway. And what you make a conscious decision to tell yourself another story and believe that story, which, I know you got more to say about that, but I just have to say, oh man, see my Eat That Frog? I'll say it right here. So you can't see it because of the green screen here, but Eat That Frog is one of the things I do in my mastermind is every month we have a book. And the book that we're reading this month in October is Eat That Frog. And I'll tell you the reason why is because October is when we start our planning for the upcoming year. And to be able to be successful, you've got to know what the big picture that you want to create in your life looks like. And you've got to set goals, and you've got to be intentional with what you do. And one of the things that he talks about really is the only difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person, it's what you say to yourself and the action and the decisions that you're making, because we're all the same.
Yeah, I think there's a misconception that people have that, some people are just born, with some sort of, and there are probably some people, but that, some of us are just born without doubt. And that's
It's not true.
So not that it's, I think, again, one of the things that we bring to each other in this forum is to remind each other, yeah, I get you. Like, there's no pretenses, there's no falseness about the relationships, because we're all just in there going, yeah, I gotcha,
Right. Well, and here's another thing that I think is really important to bring up when we're talking about Passion Dallas and the membership, and just the importance that we are the sum of the 5 people that we associate with the most. One of the things I do, I'm executive managing director for an organization called eWomen Network. We actually had our meeting on Thursday, and I said this in front of the room. I said, listen, you got to take inventory of the people in your life. And you've got to say, are the people that I have in my inner circle, the people that are around me, the closest, are they pouring into me as much as I'm pouring into them? And I don't mean equally, but I mean equal value. Yeah. Are they giving you as much time, care, consideration, love, wisdom, support as you are giving to them? And if the answer is no, I'm not saying, take them out of your life if they do provide you value and you love them, but they don't need to be in your inner circle. Now, there might be some of you that have got people in your inner circle that you do need to kick out. And it's so vitally important. But, I don't know, have you ever heard of The Black Godfather? Okay,
Yeah, you told me
You've
about-
got to watch
yeah,
this.
you
You've
told me
got
about
to
this.
watch this documentary on
Okay.
Netflix, and you've got to Google him. I mean, he's amazing. And in the documentary, he tells a story about there was a time in his life where, very, very extremely successful, and it's such an incredible story, but he lost everything. And he was in a situation where he had nothing left, but because of the tight-knit community that he was involved with, extremely successful people, and he went to one, and they said, we're not going to let you fail. So that one person that said, we're not going to let you fail, basically he poured into him, not just professional wisdom, but financial, and got the other members in their organization, and they all poured into him. And I'll tell you what, he soared again financially, paid all of them back, but it's a deeper level commitment. It's not just passing in the night. It's what you're creating and developing gives me chills when I think about it, because it's that level of depth, because we're going to make sure, if you are a passion leader and you don't have a home or a community or support, we're going to make sure you have one. That's what you created. And it wasn't your idea. that's what's so awesome.
No.
You're just doing it.
No, it wasn't I really feel like it was put on me. And I am not somebody that necessarily believed that way one way or another. I have always followed the rules in life. Real estate came to me by family, and that was so I followed that along. This has been something that I really feel led to do. I don't know, like, of any other time that I have felt so needed. So it's amazing. But
And probably scared too, right?
Oh, of course. But it's funny. It's a different kind of fear because
Exactly.
it's a fear of letting it down, not of
Exactly.
doing it.
Right. You
know?
can't not do it.
I can't not do it.
You can't not do it.
But I will say that I think in this world of so much technology, which is amazing and it's so
Yes.
great and wonderful, we are craving authenticity and we are craving deep relationships. You and I are the same this way. We don't know shallow relation. We don't
No.
understand it, and we probably
Scare
scare people.
We're probably scared of you. I mean, yeah.
It's like, whoa. But, we smile big, we live big, and we love big. And same with the way that you are. I make lifetime commitments. I have been going to the same yoga practice. Susie Curtis, I love you. I love you. You have no idea how much I love you. I've been going for 20 years, and I'll
Right.
never leave her. She's
Right.
ingrained. Why? Because it's not just the yoga practice. It's what she says and how she leads that class. And I swear it's like a spiritual journey every time you're in there. I need that. And that's what passion leaders need. We don't do well on surface.
Right,
So
right.
we need a little more.
And one of the things, and we're going to get to our Ask Jen's questions, Ziggy, right after this. But one of the things that I think about a passion leader is you don't outgrow a passion leader. Now, you can outgrow other people, but you don't outgrow a passion leader because a passion leader is always growing.
Right.
And to me, that's why there are some people you make a lifetime commitment to, and there's some that you don't. But one of the things that we do every show, to the best of our ability, sometimes it's my fault we don't get to it because I just get talking and get carried away. But we really want to help you out there that are watching, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching a week from today, or whether it's 2 years from today. We want you to know that we care about what you are going through. So our Ask Jen's questions, and even some of our guests, and I'm so excited because we've got guests now that I'm actually booking on the show that have watched the show and they're coming on. And they're the ones that send us these questions. And here's one of them. How do you know what your passion is? And I'll tell you, number one, to me, it gets you up early. Number two, it's what makes you stay up late. Number three, it gives you energy. It invigorates you. You can't stop thinking about it. And it's self-directed, meaning you're going to do it no matter what. Somebody doesn't have to tell you to work on it. You're going to do it. And the fifth is you do have a void if you don't do it. So here is my recommendation, that if you feel that void, you're lacking passion. You've just gone away from it. And we are here to help you find that passion every step of the way. And if you already have that passion, Passion Dallas is the community and the organization that can help you continue to live that passion in a deeper, more substantial way. So that's what passion means to me. And I think that that's really what you've done. And I know you've got another great video, I think, that kind of maybe sums up in a beautiful way because of what you do, just a little bit more about what Passion Dallas is and what it's all about.
Yeah, I'll wrap up with our little promo video, I guess is what it would be called. So.
I know. At Passion Dallas, we connect driven leaders who spark passion into the Dallas community through their work, whether that be directing a multi-million-dollar business, a passion project, a nonprofit organization, or just pure entrepreneurial spirit. Our multimedia platform connects you to like-minded individuals so you can advance yourself professionally and personally. Ultimately, we foster a culture of people who want to collaborate, network, and grow together, embracing our mission to enhance the narrative of Dallas. I love it, Carrie. I love what
a
you're
little
doing.
wrap-up.
I love what you're doing. And I say the last thing I want to touch on is something that you talk a lot about as well, and that is your social mission or social consciousness. Touch on that real briefly, because it's all tied in, but I want people to realize it because it's not just a buzzword.
No, and I'll say two things on the wrap up. Yes, I think we all feel the need to give back, and sometimes we don't know where to start because there are a lot of places to start in Dallas. Our goal is to connect our passion leaders with various different organizations, and then if they want to dig deeper from there, they have the knowledge. I mean, for me, I'm always like, I don't know where to put my time. This kind of gives you a little bit of time with various organizations. You get to hear and see what they do, and then if you want to dig deeper, you've been introduced. So I think, everybody walked out of the Birthday Party Project and said, where do I sign up? I want to bring my
Right.
team, I want to bring my staff. So that's our goal, is to shine light, and our goal is always to shine light on. But Dallas is an amazing city with, in my opinion, the most hands down amazing people in the world. I have always said that. We want it to be seen that way, and I think sometimes there's a misconception or a lack of culture that is seen in the city. Through Passion Dallas and through what we're doing, we hope to elevate and expand upon the culture of Dallas, because these people, our people, are the best people anywhere.
They are. And I am going to say that I'm so excited because since you did come on the show today, and I ask all my guests, is there some type of invitation or offer that we can provide to our viewers? And you said, yes, Jens. You're inviting everyone to your Passion Dallas event on Friday, October the 25th.
That's right.
So if you are watching this show and you say to yourself, listen, I want more information, we're going to provide you all that information, but go ahead and save the date, put it in your calendar, Friday, October the 25th. We start at 7 p.m. and we'll get more information to them. And listen, if you know somebody that's another Passion Dallas leader and you think they've got to be there too, please share that with them. So from the bottom of my heart, my passion-driven heart, Carrie, thank you so much for coming on. I love you.
I love you, and thank you for everything that you've brought into my life. You are a one-of-a-kind person, and I can't tell you enough.
I love her. I love her. So until we meet again, be big, be bold, and most importantly, be you. Bye-bye.